Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, well, this one's not for sale, but by special dispensation of an honored client, we're filming a showcase of an extraordinary timepiece, the first I've seen outside of the trade show floor. This is the Dubuis Excalibur Quatuor, a 188-piece limited series launched at Watches and Wonders in 2013. It's a combination of DLC, blackened coating, and titanium, 48 millimeters in diameter. Everything about this watch is on a nightmare scale, the largest Poisson de Genève movement you'll ever see, and the deepest. 4 escapements, 4 balances, 5 differentials, 590 parts, and 113 jewels. This watch is over the top, and if you're looking for a legitimate Grubel 4C alternative in both wrist presence and watchmaking, this is it. Now, it's not often that I film a video of a watch with a remote mic, but because this watch has 4 escapements and effectively beats away at 32 beats per second, you really have to hear it. It's like the 60-valve engine of a Bugatti EB110 or a warehouse full of sewing machines. Can you hear that? Alright, now I'm going back to the integral mic and I'm going to give you some wrist shots. This watch looks and sounds like nothing else. In an empty room, you'd swear you're surrounded by an entire case of watches. 48 millimeters in diameter, everything about this watch is oversized, 18.8 millimeters thick, lug-to-lug, 58.5 millimeters, putting a 57 millimeter lug-to-lug big pilot's watch to shame. This thing certainly has stance, and frankly, it's a little bit too big for my wrist. In titanium, it's fairly light, and it would sit securely, but I recommend for wrists no smaller than 17 centimeters circumference. Everything that touches the skin, however, is of the highest quality. The Excalibur line debuted in 2013 with an Imperial Eagle theme at SIHH, and this watch was a follow-up to the launch models of the Quatuor. This was a Watches and Wonders mid-season update to the line, 188 pieces in DLC blackened titanium. The watch is both nuanced and, well, substantial. There's a lot going on here, but the design is surprisingly sensitive and thoughtful. Screw-fixed removable shear guards for the crown, an oversized and deeply knurled crown structure. You have the notched and knurled bezel of the Excalibur line and sharply curved lugs to help your wrist because you're going to need a little bit of help. The strap is as substantial as the watch, thickly bolstered, monotone stitch, large rectangular gaiter. Roger Dubuis, you can see there's actually a new strap fitted to the watch, and here's the original titanium trigger deployant clasp. You can see Roger Dubuis branded internally, and it's a good thing that it's a trigger system because you don't want this thing flying open by accident. Even titanium, this watch still has a substantial amount of heft on the wrist. Now, the watch is substantial in every respect, from its triple lug designed to anchor the impossibly huge strap down to your wrist to the 4 independent escapements, and you really do get the best of the watch from the dial side. Although it has a handsome display caseback, the most impressive visuals are on the front, where you're going to spend most of your time. Now, at center, you have faceted Dauphine hands displaying the hours and the minutes. You have a double-edged power reserve indicator, twin mainspring barrels just under the center dial, and then flanking, there are 4 individual escapements. I'm going to try to give us some more light here. 4 individual escapements. They are 90 degrees opposed to each other to cover 360 degrees in circular format, and then they're angled individually at 45 degrees. Each one beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, so 8 beats per second, so 32 beats per second in total, and they do synchronize via 5 differentials. The differentials instantly average out the change in time that's caused when one is facing up and the other is facing down, or one is facing sideways and the other is facing opposite. In other words, by creating a differential coupling of 4 separate angled balances, the watch can achieve instantly what a tourbillon achieves over time by rotating. And unlike a tourbillon, which frankly only works in a single position in your pocket like a pocket watch, this watch has more the quality of a gyro tourbillon, evening out the rate change at any orientation with respect to gravity. And again, because they're coupled by differential, the change is instant. The finish is world class as well. As you can see, this manually wound 40-hour power reserve caliber RD101, let's get on the case back, it features twin oversized mainspring barrels, and you can see that they are absolutely huge to provide the power for what is effectively 4 separate watches in one case. The depth of this movement is incredible. It's over 37 millimeters in diameter and 10.6 millimeters deep. You can actually see through this movement from a diagonal perspective. So not only do you look at it, you look through it. You could see Poisson de Genève, and it takes 720 hours to finish the 590 parts of this movement, 2,400 hours total to create and regulate the watch. Everything is of the highest grade, and it's a lot, but it's impressive because it doesn't just have wrist presence. The closer you get, the more impressive the watch and its execution becomes. You can even see the 4-leaf clover design shrouding the individual balances, with each side surrounding the balance fully concave and mirror polished to reflect the mechanism back to the user's vision. This thing is spectacular. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 separate watch movements operating coupled by 5 differentials. This is about as cool and uncommon as it gets. In terms of sheer invention, Roger Dubuis truly found a way to counteract the effects of gravity, finally solving the long-standing riddle and doing it with raw power and watchmaking and engineering virtuosity. Thank you, sir, for sharing this extraordinary watch. This is the first and only Roger Dubuis Quatuor from the Excalibur collection that I have ever featured on the channel.